I always forget to do that sometimes. How's everybody's Thursday doing? Oh, I can't hear you,
I don't
Pilar.
know if it's
You're muted.
Sorry, I was just saying I love your blouse.
You love my what? I'm sorry.
Your button up.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. I know I've been trying to expand my wardrobe a little bit more. It's funny. I have a lot of, because I have been pulling out more winter clothes, and now I got to change over to summer, and like, it's like 84 degrees up here. I'm like, holy Jesus. It went from like 60 to
That's
80. Yeah, it's pretty warm, but it's kind of like a,
Yeah.
Can you hear me okay, everybody? My internet's okay, right?
Yeah, you sound good here.
Okay, cool, perfect. Awesome. So I just want to touch on a couple topics. I know I've been hearing from different people about different stuff, and I just kind of want to go over some things to help you guys out. And then also, I know it's kind of a little short notice on this group call, but I figured just get it going, do something, at least help y'all. And then next week we'll do something probably like on a Thursday. And then after that, I'm going to be like 9 hours difference in Europe. So it's going to be, going to be really different a time frame.
From the West Coast?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's a whole different time frame over there. So it might be hard. I was thinking it might be hard to do kind of group calls. But of course, I'll be available via message and live and stuff like that. We can always Zoom and everything like that. The time frame, the schedule is going to be a little odd. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to go over some few things. Let me share my screen. And then we'll start. Okay, can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Cool. So I know it's funny, we were just talking about this in the weekly Zoom. And I know Pilar, you went to weekly Zoom. Have you gone to weekly Zoom, Angela?
I went to one where there was one other person, and she was kind of farther ahead than me, and then I forget what had happened. But yeah, because it's 7:00 my time, so I think I had to get off for my son or something. I don't even remember.
Got it. No worries. Well, if you ever do too, they have like today was actually a really good group. We talked about a lot of different things today. So we do record them. So, just go back and check and just kind of check them out and see if there's anything in there. That's good.
So it's in the group. It's in the group, Facebook group.
Mm-hmm, yeah,
Okay.
And pretty much you'd go and there should be under like weekly Zoom, the guide, and then we just post them on there too. So once mine uploaded, I'll post it to there too. But a lot of it too, one of the questions were about feeling overwhelmed, right? Like, how do you cope with doing 30-day sprint? How do you, it's different. It's a whole different type of ball game, especially you've never done anything like this before. It can be very different. It can be overwhelming, and you have a lot of different factors, a lot of different things that say if you've done marketing, right? Say you've done It Works and all the other stuff, right? Mary Kay or whatever. They teach you very different kind of marketing techniques, right? Than what we're teaching you. We're giving you like a whole sloosh of like a bunch of tools, right, for your toolbox. And it can be a little crazy and overwhelming. So, and also this was my kind of thing too. When I first started, I was working full time. I was volunteering. I was trying to kind of get into a new role of my job that I was doing. There was a lot going on, right? And feeling overwhelmed is such an easy thing. And so I think it's good to really touch base on it. So my favorite quote real quick is you can't stop, calm the storm. So stop trying, right? What you can do is calm yourself, then the storm will pass, right? It's the same thing that, learn how to dance in the rain, same thing. So, a lot of us felt, frustration, anxiety, crippling, shut down, you give up, a cumulative effect, right? And it can be really easy to get overwhelmed and just kind of walk away from it all. And I felt like that too when I first started. There's been times where I would be pulling out my hair. Literally, I felt like, because I've never done anything like this before, right? I came from, working in the field, hiking and doing nature stuff, and doing something like this was completely different for me. So I'm sure a lot of you, that have done this before, it might be kind of, you might be used to doing all the marketing, but to someone that's never done this before, it can be kind of overwhelming. And so I kind of want to give you guys some tips and tricks that I kind of dealt with and that I've gathered over time that I've heard people do. So I try to do like break down the list, right? So we have our 30-day sprint, we have our phases and our checklist, right? What I try to do is break it down to where there's only like one or two things I take care of, right? And I was even saying too, once I do those, I'll even like treat myself, right? I'll pour myself a glass of wine. I'll, go get a massage or whatever it is to kind of treat yourself on being overwhelmed. And that gives you like, okay, I just posted today. Great. Even though it might be small for you, but anything in your business is going to help your business. Even if it's posting, if it's working on mindset, even if it's reading, even if it's just pretty much opening up your computer and kind of jotting things down as to what you want to post about, whatever it is, just kind of do something, right? And then treat yourself or work on mindset. Those are all really important things. So these are a little bit above and beyond right now for you guys, but like you can break down ads, Instagram, Facebook, right? When you do ads, you'll learn about split testing and demographics, and then you're writing a story and everything like that. Angela, you just did your likes campaign, right? So just looking at those things, it's really good to start breaking things down and kind of understanding, because when you get a big list, it gets overwhelming just looking at like 10 things you have to do, right? At least for me, it does. So, and then prioritize, right? I usually like to do the easiest things first in my list. What I can get done right away, that's going to take minimal time. I usually want to get those done and check those off first, and then work on the other ones that are going to take longer, right? So, and then like I said, right, reduce like the number of items so it seems more manageable, right? Trick yourself, break up the list. I've even done where I only show myself part of my list. Whatever it is, outsource if you can help it, right? If you have your husband or your fiance or anything like that, you can have them help you. Can you do a video for me or give me some ideas on how to do certain things? My husband has been way better at this. In the beginning, he was no help at all, and then over time, he started to understand what I was doing, and then he actually sends me stuff and he's like, hey, write about this, or let's do a video on this. So it's really kind of fun when you can kind of outsource if you have help to do that stuff, right? And then of course, like have an end in sight, give yourself a cutoff point. I know in the beginning, I would get so burnt out because I was trying to do so much. And then I almost like, it was kind of like hiding away from it because I was doing too much. Like, it was just like, okay, 30 days, when you say 30 days, yeah, it doesn't seem like a long time. But when you have all these new things, it can be a little crazy. So give yourself a cutoff point. Say, I'm only going to do 2 tasks today and I'm done, right? Because you don't want to be overwhelmed. You don't want to be burnt out. Once you do those things, then it's easier to kind of lull off and fall off the bandwagon. So you want to at least definitely keep going, even just doing one thing a day, whatever it helps to get you through. And remember, 30-day sprint is 30 days, but you can make it as long, farther out, or as short as you want. This is all about your own schedule. And of course, be kind to yourself, right? Give yourself grace. This is really important. And I really understood this. Like, I beat myself up. I'm such a person to where if I don't get something done, I'm sitting there thinking about it at night and I can't sleep. And then it just gets to be really almost like a snowball effect. And you have to understand, like, again, you're learning something new. Give yourself grace. If you can't figure it out right away, take a break, walk away, and then be able to come back. And then I was even saying for you guys too, like affirmations, right? Sticky notes, stuff like that. Remind yourself, listen to podcasts, like do different things to help with your mindset. And I know when I first caught on board, I was like, personal development mindset. I was like, that's not making any sales. Like, that's not gonna do anything for me. But it really does though. And I also noticed too, when my energy is up and my mindset is good, I have way more better conversations. I make more sales, all of that because of my mindset. If I'm in kind of like an interesting place sometimes, I'm overwhelmed or whatever it is, people can read your energy. People can like feel that. Even though it's just via text message, right? People can actually feel how you're speaking to them. And that will definitely deter pretty much deter people, when I'm not in a good mindset. And then like some activities and exercise I do, some things you guys can do to kind of help with it, right? Do a silly dance. I've actually gotten up and I've kind of like done like this, like a kid thing, like I shake my body around and like a whole bobblehead kind of thing, right? Just kind of like let it go. I've taken walks with my dogs, listen to a short podcast. Affirmational podcasts, those are really great, if they're even like 5-10 minutes long, right? And then it also kind of boosts your mind and gives you things to write about, all of that, right? Have a book handy, read a couple chapters. I'm a big cartoon girl. It's funny, even in my husband's vows, he says, if you're gonna wake a bear, I'm gonna bring honey, coffee, and cartoons. So I love to take a load off because life is serious, right? Life is so incredibly serious sometimes. And it's nice to laugh. It's nice to kind of clear your mind from all of it. So find whatever it works for you, because this is a journey. This is not just 30 days, right? This is going to be your life from now on. And to manage all of this is so incredibly important. And you just need to not take everything so seriously because it can get pretty serious and it can be a little overwhelming. Listen to music, right? Breathing exercise, guys. Have you heard about breathing exercises, breath work? Anybody heard about that? Well, okay, perfect. So,
Yeah, I follow. I don't know if just to because you were talking about breathwork. It's what's his name, Lucas Rockwood. Have you seen him on YouTube?
No, but I'll write him down. Lucas,
Yeah, Lucas, Lucas Rockwood. He has, it's called box breathing. I'm sure you've heard of that one, but it's amazing for your sympathetic and parasympathetic system. So like it completely, it's insane. It takes pain away and it takes minutes to do. I really recommend it. It's called, his page is yoga. It's called Yoga Body, but what he essentially does is he teaches you how to breathe. So.
Well, yoga is a lot about breathing. So yeah, we do. Yeah, exactly. That's part of it too, right? And breath work, I honestly too, I just got into breath work maybe a year ago, probably not. I mean, before I had no idea what it was besides when I did yoga. But I have cried during my breath work. I've cried during yoga because you're releasing all these emotions. And sometimes when you're clearing your brain out, you actually have a lot of things that flood in that you were kind of suppressing. It was like your subconscious, right?
Yeah.
And I, even too, when I work out and I do really hard workouts, your body's releasing that. And sometimes I will cry when I'm like in a really hard workout, because you're breathing, your body's like kind of like letting that go. And honestly, that's, breath work, you definitely get into that. It's really, really great. If you're into praying, right? Meditation, all of those things are really good to kind of calm your mind and kind of give you some clarity. And I love it. Phone a friend or a coach. You guys, I know there's courses always me, right? But this is the whole point of the community, right? Meeting people, even if it's just a friend down the street or anything, right? It's nice to kind of phone somebody and talk to them. And especially if it's in the community, right? You guys can kind of have an idea what you guys are going through. That's why we make sure to have you guys have an accountability partner. These are really important things because it's nice to talk to somebody that knows what you're going through, right? That's why you talk to your friend, about your life, right? Because they understand kind of what you're going through. So if you haven't got an accountability partner, definitely get on that. Of course, you have me, and you guys have each other here too. But it's good to have also somebody else, and you can have 1 or 2, 3 accountability partners. It's up to you, but it's really good to have somebody to talk to. And then of course too, drink water, right? If you have the water machine, studies are showing improves your mood. I know, especially when you're, hydrated or dehydrated, then you can be a little more slow. You could be tired, you could be slow, and you're going to be grumpy. I know if I'm thirsty or hungry, I can get grumpy. And so that's really good to do that. And I think you guys both have, you both have the water machines. So yeah, definitely drink the Kangen. Take a shower if you have the Anespa, right? You're pretty much, you don't have the Anespa, it's amazing. It is pretty much dopamine's released. I don't know about you guys, but I get a lot of creativity in the shower. I'm sitting in the shower and all these like things flood into my brain, and that's why I have my life-proof cover phone, so I can get it wet and it's fine. And I'll sit there and do messages or like talk text, because that's when I get like the greatest ideas, because your body's relaxed. You're kind of, again, the dopamine's releasing your joints, and you're just having that time to relax. And that's when a lot of creativity comes to me too. And that's usually, it's funny. And like, and like during like the nighttime, I'm like, I can't think of anything, because I'm usually tired, and I'm like, oh, whatever. And then the next morning I take a shower and I'm like, oh, there's all these things start flooding into my brain. So, and then like, whatever you're going through, it is preparing you for the next breakthrough. And I think that's definitely really important, because again, this is such a journey, and it's an amazing journey if you stick to it. And I promise you, I've been doing this for 2 years. And I feel like every year it's getting better. Every month it's getting better. The people I talk to were amazing. I found you guys found me, vice versa. It's really an amazing journey. And I tell you what, I just said to the other girls, it's literally 80% mindset, 20% tactics. And I think that's super important to really remember, guys, because you can do all the tactics all day long, but if your mind is not there, again, your clients are going to see that, and they're going to be deterred from that. They're not going to want to work with somebody that is kind of going crazy in their own head, right? Anything that you guys do that I haven't mentioned about feeling overwhelmed?
I think you mentioned quite a few of how I'm feeling.
Right. I hear you. That's definitely, it's important. I think it's something easy we kind of overlook, like it's honestly part of life. We're overwhelmed all the time. So we're so customized and so used to just feeling that way, but we don't always deal with it. And that can be rough, because again, it's a snowball effect. And your
Right.
happiness is such an important thing about a business. And again, I notice when I'm happy and things are going good, my business is going good. It's so weird how that works. I tell you what, it is so relating. It's very interesting. Okay, cool. I'm gonna click off that real quick, and I'm gonna pull up something else for you guys. I have my little things. Okay. So I want to also talk about, right? Okay, so let's go into this Enagic Backoffice, guys. Have you guys both visited your back office?
Twice.
Okay, perfect. I'm gonna share my screen. So perfect. Let me know when you can see my screen.
I can see it.
Perfect.
Okay.
So this is your Enagic Backoffice. This has so many tools that you won't even believe. Like there's so much in here that I didn't even touch for a while when I first started, because there's just so much information in here. So first off, right? So you have the Enagic forms. Enagic forms are really good as far as if you want to do organic marketing, you want to do any of those things. Pretty much most of the selling of any of the kind of forms that are doing with the machines, the Yukon, any of that stuff, I usually take care of, unless, down the road, you guys are ready to take it out of your own. But pretty much first off, a lot of that stuff I'll take care of, but I want you kind of know where it's at, and how to find things. So pretty much you'd go under, right, distributor area and Enagic forms. So all of this stuff is going to be for payment for distributors, financing, awards and incentives. A lot of the stuff you want to look at, those like repair service related. So you got to get your machine cleaned, right? If you move, you want to change your address. If you have anybody in Spanish, right? Espanol right there, all of it in Spanish for you. So you have different versions, you have different things in here that you could definitely go into. There's literally a huge, huge list. A lot of them you really won't touch, again, besides a change of address and pretty much service related stuff like that. And then down the road, you'll start to learning about all the forms that we do. And again, you guys filled out the forms, so it's pretty much the same thing, but it's really just knowing how to use Doc Hub and all of that. So these are all the forms are. Go into eventually when you guys start making some sales. You can go into your Enagic portal, and I have 3 different IDs, but really eventually, so Angela, you got the trifecta. So once you start going, when you start making a sale, we'll go into Enagic and we'll have them combine all your IDs in one. So you can just go to one and toggle through versus having to log in every single time, right? And this will see your sales report. You'll kind of see how everybody's situated, and you're going to see, you know, what rank you're at. That's the Enagic portal. Really, really good information. News. So this is really cool too. You can go into about the news, the different things that go. There's newsletters, water photo contests, 6-day group sales contests, all spring, and all these different things you can go into. Filters special campaigns. Sometimes they do like a 2-for-1, or they have like $15 off the filters or whatever that is, right? That's also in here too. You have compliance. So if you're curious about what you can and can't do with Enagic, right? This would be all the information for you right here. Let's see, education. So let's go into right here. Sure. So there's a little bit of here. I'll go into more education, but here is a couple different videos on just about, you know, an ESPA and the Enagic and Kangen and stuff like that. Let's see. Here's a compensation video. So if you want to learn more about the compensation plan, that'd be right in here. You have the event calendar. So Enagic has a lot of different things that happen. So as you can see, this whole calendar is pretty filled up, right? So today's the 10th at 3 o'clock, USA tour, get expert Enagic training from Kaz Yakana. So, you know, you can just troop through, and then there's different trainings. Water and demo, compliant Kangen water demo business opportunity. There's different things you can learn through Enagic. Yukon, compensation plans, demos, pretty much anything of that sort. You can check in here and see what's coming up. And then you have, let's see, your tax calculator. So this can be fun to go play with, just for yourself to play with, understand, especially when you say you're talking to family and friends and they're like, hey, how much is this? Well, hold on, let me go look for you. You know, I mean, you can of course use me, but this is something you can also find yourself, right? Or if you're wanting to purchase another machine down the road, or a Yukon, whatever that is, you can go and look, and you can kind of see where I got my information from, right? Kangen. And then you could do pretty much put your address in here, and it'll tell you the tax and the shipping. Or if you want to pick it up, right, you can choose pick up. I know Pilar is like not that far, like an hour away from her station or her office, the Enagic office. She has the option to pick it up, which is awesome. And then you can see all the different things, right? All the different options, which is really cool. So marketing system, I don't really use a marketing system too much because so BYU in a sense has its own automation, right? So that's why BYU is around for me, because it's all the automation and it has all the tools, the sales funnel, everything, right? So say you weren't part of BYU, you want to do organic, right? So you could go into here and you would pay them to do some of these things for you if you wanted to do it that way. But personally, I think BYU is better, but to each their own.
Well, because BYU has a community. This isn't a community. These are just tools, right?
You do have, exactly, you do, but you do have a community though in Enagic as well. So I'll show you, there is a forum. Let me go back to here. Is it knowledge base? There is a forum in here though, so we all can talk. So, okay, this is questions. Let me find it. Oh, public discussion. So you pretty much go into here, log in, and there's a forum you guys can talk to as well. So it's a different type of community. It's not as like Facebook community wise as we are. So it's more of just, electronically, that kind of community. Let me go back to here. So I love this. So Pilar, you were talking about organic marketing, right? So when I first started, Ashley made us watch these, and I love these. Her name is Tamia, and she is 6A8-3. She is up there. She is making that money every month. She is literally getting that pretty much, I think 6A-1 is 5,000. 6A-3, I think, is like $10,000-$15,000 a month, something crazy like that. And that's automatic, no matter sales or anything. So that's why it's super important to really kind of get up there. It took Ashley 4 years to get on to getting that rank of $5,000 monthly for life. And that's passing down your children. That's everything. So, and that's just the beginning. Like, it's insane when you look at the compensation plan. So, and again, Enagic was originally a direct sale, right? It would be, you go to your family and friends, you knock on doors, you go to restaurants and all that stuff, right? And she really gets in the nitty gritty on how to organic market. She literally talks about, talking to people on the phone and having three-way calls. So we do Zooms, and she talks about doing three-way calls on the phone, right? Pretty much how to understand the competition. She goes into all of these different really great videos, and she's such a powerful speaker too. So I definitely recommend, if you're interested in organic marketing or just in general, just learning about more on how to talk to people. It's really, really great in how she does that. Demonstrating Enagic's machine, she talks about doing that, right? The do's and don'ts, testimonials and personal development. Conversation will bring you compensation, like how to talk to people. All of this stuff is really, really good information, and it just keeps going. So about 15 videos. So that's on top of everything that we have. There's another way to do organic marketing. She teaches you about it. And then let's see. Oh, and this is cool too. So wish list. So if you want Enagic to do something, you want to see something different, you want their website to look change or whatever it is, it's called a wish list. So you can actually ask Enagic like, hey, I would like you to do this, or what about this, right? So it's kind of a little wish list you can actually go into, which is really fun. And then of course too, like your settings, right? Your billings, and you can change your picture and stuff like that as far as your Enagic Backoffice. So that can be really fun. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything in here. And of course, you can download the training manual. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, but it's up to you. And yeah, that's pretty much it in here. And of course, y'all can always poke around and hear more and just kind of check it out. Do you have any questions though before I move on to the next thing?
No, I didn't realize everything that the Enagic, I mean, I knew about the back office, of course, but I didn't know about everything else. That's pretty neat.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in here. And like I said, when I first started, I kind of was like, oh, it's just to look at my sales, the tax calculator, forms, that's it. Like there's just 3 things I kind of went for. But then I was like, oh, there's so much more information in here and so much learning. And I'm so glad Ashley had us do the School for Champions in there, where she talks about the organic marketing, because it really opened my eyes on, oh, there's different ways to do this. And it, when I first started, like I was kind of doing a little bit of both, right? Organic marketing and ads. And she really kind of does it really different. And she's so powerful. You're like, I got this. I got this. But yeah, it's really, really good. Definitely check in here, play with it, go into your Enagic portal, just kind of look at everything and just get familiarized with it, because eventually you're going to start using this more and more. Yeah. Anything else?
No, I think that's really neat. I like it a lot.
Cool. Cool. And then,
It seems a little less overwhelming, because that's the other thing with Facebook. Sometimes when I start scrolling, I mean, I know everything is there and it's easy to find. But like so many videos get my attention, and so many, like there's like, I cannot tell you how many I have saved that I haven't watched yet. And so like it gets, because like they'll be talking about the exact same thing that I was like, or for example, I watched all the ones that you have tagged me in, but like ones that I start scrolling and I see, I'm like, whoa, this is a really interesting subject. Let me save it because I'm in the middle of something. And then by the time the end of the week comes, I've got like 9 saved videos. I'm like, oh my, what have I done?
that's me too.
And if they're like 15 or 20 minutes, okay, but like I'm saving videos that are a solid 45 to an hour long. I'm like, geez, I have to watch 9 of these. But yeah, I just, and that idea about shortening the list, like the 30-day sprint, instead of looking at the whole thing, would just like divide it up into sections, right? And
Exactly.
and I agree with you about like doing the easy stuff first. Yeah, the letter to yourself, reading the book, vision board. Yeah, those are super simple. Like that's not something like, well, where do I get started with those? Those are pretty basic. The fan page is like a little daunting to me. The what is it? What does she call it? The seasoning? Is that what? Okay, so those are things like I don't even post on my regular Facebook page. I can't even imagine jumping like to fan page and start posting. It's daunting, that's all.
Yeah,
So
and that's the same thing though too, right? Like I thought the same thing. Like when I first started, I was like, I barely go on Facebook. I don't even have an Instagram. You want me to do what? I felt the same way. Like I had maybe like 300 friends. That was it. Like that was just my family, friends. That was it. And and that's why I say too, like the likes campaign, right? With your season, your page, like again, don't try to overwhelm yourself with it. Just start throwing things out there. You want to travel somewhere, I want to travel to Europe. Doesn't this look cool? Or a tree house, or a picture of your family, right? A quote, right? And eventually go to learn about the 3 pillars, which is really important too. You can go, of course, have more pillars. Business is a pillar, family is a pillar, traveling is a pillar, right? Start looking at that way, and then it becomes easier to start actually
build on. So you start with the basics and then you build up from there. Okay.
Exactly. And again, have grace with yourself, because in the beginning, you look at my page in the beginning, right? It looks nothing like it was now, right? You kind of grow with it, and it's your baby right now. It's just kind of barely starting to walk. It's like kind of barely crawling, getting up and falling down, and and that's exactly what it is. So over time, the more you do it, the more comfortable you are. It's going to be a second nature, right? And that's why people get hung up, and I got hung up on it too, like my likes campaign or trying to post on something. I'm like, I was sitting here like, what the frick do I post about? But then you start realizing, okay, family stuff. I love my family. I'll post that. We had Mother's Day or birthday, wedding, whatever it is, right? Because your audience is going to relate to that. And right now,
it was a video that Myra Whittington, I think is her name, posted. Where she said that you mentioned that people get hung up because they get hung up with like, well, what do I post? Like, I don't have this like grandiose idea of like all the traveling I want to do. And Myra was like, well, no, like start with the basics, like, getting to work on your own schedule, like not having to wake up at 6 a.m. Like, it doesn't have to be, buying a Ferrari, going to Europe, going to Costa Rica. Like, it doesn't have to be that. Exactly. And I identified so much with that. And so like I added her on Facebook because I was like, I love that. Yes. Like the basics, like just not having to wake up at freaking 6 a.m. every day to get to work, not having to commute, not, it doesn't have to be traveling. It can be, because you can appeal so many people could, and I guess most people might identify more with the idea of just not having to wake up early, just not having to commute back home, just, you know, having more time with your family, things like that. So
exactly. I mean, it's true. And a lot of people, and that's the thing too. And I noticed as well, like people that aren't even there yet, that are traveling and don't have a job, all of that, they, you know, they actually have a job. They're at home, they're working their 9 to 5 grind, they're doing all the hard stuff, right? It's hard to relate to somebody that's not doing that, right? That's past them, that it's way out there. They're doing things they could actually do. It actually makes them a little nervous. And they actually might not approach you because of that. So sometimes it's nice to be on that same level, right? You're kind of growing also with your audience. If you start posting right away, oh, I'm traveling, I'm doing all this crazy stuff. Right. Some people are like, oh, okay.
That's not relatable. Right.
Exactly. Exactly. So think about it as, you know, just as what you would want to see, right? Even if it's about your dog, whatever it is. So people that have dogs or animals will be like, oh, your dog is so cute. And then a conversation can strike up that way, right? Comments can happen and all of that. So be basic in that sense. Just make it easy for yourself to start throwing things out there. Again, if it's just a quote, you know, whatever it is, people love quotes. All of that stuff is really good and stuff to do. Just don't get hung up on has to be perfect. It has to do this. It has to be like this, because honestly, you'll never get anywhere. I know. And I've been there too. I'm like, oh my gosh, like I you know, it gets overwhelming when you put that much on yourself. You just have to be like, hey, you know what? I'm working towards a better future. Wham, bam, you know, like think of it that way, you know, that people will relate to that and they'll be drawn to that. I'm like, well, how are you doing that? You know, and that's what gets really fun and exciting. So don't get hung up on that.
If a social media person who's famous is ever perfect, if you ever watch any of the social media people,
that's
hi Sam.
Every video that they're doing is so imperfect, and that's why people watch it.
Exactly.
It's like, what is this idiot? You know,
right. So
then you just end up watching it until you're like, oh wow, maybe they're not an idiot, or you know,
they're human. They're just normal people. Exactly.
That is more relatable, yep, than the perfect, good-looking model, like she's in like the Maldives and
like I can never do that. That's way beyond me. And then they might get deterred, right? So you have to kind of think of it exactly like, and especially when you start doing like recordings, you start doing videos and stuff. It's okay if you mess up, right? Don't freak out. Just keep going, right? And that's what the most important thing is.
The one thing famous social media people do all the time is post a lot.
Yes, that is true.
Post a lot,
I know.
but always there.
And I don't even follow people on Instagram. What I do is watch recipes. I'm a big foodie, so I just watch recipes all day long. I ignore all those people that are like super showy and oh, my life is perfect and oh, like it's flawless. No, I don't subscribe to any of that stuff. I just watch food and recipes. I love it.
There you go. So one of your pillars could be food, right? Start like Angela. I know you're putting recipes on your page, right? I see her do all these different recipes. Huh?
That's on my personal page, yeah.
Personal page, yeah, exactly. But you can still even put that on over to your business page, right? So that's the same thing. Find the things that you relate to that are easy for you to put out there, and then people will relate to that very easy as well. It's pretty, Don't ever think it, guys. I promise. It's gonna be easy. It's gonna be fine. Just get going. Just start crawling a little bit, and eventually you'll start running. So. Any other questions before I move on to another topic?
Well, I don't have any. No.
Okay, cool.
Not for this topic, no.
Cool. Let me get into. Okay, I'm going to get into this one. I have 2 more topics, organic marketing, and I want to go into ads to help you, Angela, and organic marketing to help you, Pilar.
Thank you.
Let me know if you can see my screen.
I can see it.
Cool. Okay, cool. So organic marketing, right? So let me move your faces. Hold on. You're right in the way. Actually, hold on. let's do that and move you up here and then go back to play. Okay, perfect. So organic marketing, right, is without the use of paid ads. It's personal business, Facebook, Insta page. Organic marketing can really be on TikTok, it can be on Reels, it can be on Snapchat, right? Family, friends, coworkers, businesses. If you go to yoga, if you know anybody that's going to be health conscious, right? Businesses are really good to do. Restaurants. We have the SD 501, which is commercial use, right? They love that. And then emails. Eventually, you guys will get into emails. That's also organic marketing, right? Nothing that's being, you're not having to pay any money to do any ads. So pretty much what you want to do, right? The process is, I know sometimes organic marketing, and I know Angela, you're a little more familiar with this, but it's pretty simple in a sense, right? I mean, it can be kind of simple, I guess, how you want to look at it. You know, talk to your family and friends, right? The businesses and the restaurants. Go on to, if you're on Facebook or Instagram or anything like that, there's different groups. So if you relate to health groups, you relate to food groups or whatever kind of, you know, groups you like, hiking or any of that stuff, right? So you want to go on there and actually friend them onto your personal page, right? Or have them follow you on your business page, whatever, how you want to do that. There's both ways to do this. You want to like and comment on their posts because you want to have that personal connection with them. That's a difference. So when you have an ad, right, they're reading your story, they kind of already getting to know you. When you're completely organic marketing, it's just like you're walking to somebody on the street and saying hi, right? You have to build a little bit of rapport. You want to like their comments or like their stuff and comment on their stuff and kind of create that conversation with them, friend them, reach out to them when you become friends, say, hey, thank you for friending me. And it's completely up to you how you want to take it from there. You can't even, I would recommend kind of easing in before you throw a pitch out to them, kind of create that rapport with them first. Because I'm sure we've all gotten those messages from people that right away, they just send you this like already automated.
They bombard you, yeah.
Exactly. And I'm like, you don't even know who I am. You don't know anything about me. How are you trying to tell me what I need right now? You
Exactly.
know? And exactly, it's the same thing too, right? So think about it that way. I've actually made my first sale too, or actually my second sale was organic marketing. I friended somebody and I reached out to her and we talked, and then I was kind of getting more information on her, and then that's how I made my second sale. Right. So, and also too, when you're organic marketing, again, you don't have the ad as your backup. So people need to be completely clear what you're doing, right? You want to have like your profile on your Facebook or your Instagram. You want to say what you are, right? Social media marketing, or, you know, you're not a coach yet, but just different things like that, right? You want to kind of be clear as to what you're doing. Right. And then how to get in touch with you. It's funny. I've always heard this. People need to be told what to do, but it's incredibly true. They need to be told what to do. You can say, I'm a social media marketer, right? But they're like, okay, but you know, in your Instagram, go to this link or message me for more information, right? Same thing on your profile. Say those things so people know how to reach out to you.
What does it mean to schedule out to make it easier? Post on your person. It's like, how do you schedule a post?
So pretty much it's gonna be more for your business page. Your personal page is a little bit, you can't, yeah, what were we saying? I'm sorry, Angela.
They don't let you. I've looked up a whole bunch of different apps to try to do it because they used to let you on your personal page, but they don't anymore.
It used to let you schedule posts?
Mhm.
So not on your personal, only on a business.
Only on business. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So pretty much post, I mean, I said like post on your personal page, and then business page you want to schedule out to make it easier. So that's why, I mean, personal pages are great. But I try to also use my business page a lot because I can do all that automation, which is awesome. And you can pretty much mirror, right, your business page to be your personal page. It's kind of the same thing. And we can get into, you know, future group calls. We can go into more about like how to look into scheduling, how to schedule things, when to schedule things. There's a calendar that I have, like there's way more stuff and get into, which I'm excited for the next group calls. Go ahead.
So is the fan page the same as the business page?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait a minute. How many pages do I have to have? Okay.
No,
Fan
same
page,
thing.
same as business page. Okay.
Yeah, totally same thing. I guess some people call it fan, some people call it business. Personally, I call it business.
Mhm.
I mean,
I feel like business it's better. 'Cause fan page implies that they're fans of me, and I'm like, well, you probably don't know me, so.
It's true. Yeah, it just depends how you want to. Yeah, you call it. And then eventually too, right? There is a space in like BYU, and also I believe it's not in Kickstart yet, but in Life Flippers it will be. But definitely in BYU, there's a whole thing about emails. And emails again are free. You can create sequences of them. So when people like eventually, if you have like, you can get their email, right? If you don't have a link from BYU, you can get their email, put them into your Aweber, right? And then Aweber will actually send out emails as you tell it to, every 3 days or every week or what at this certain time, right? Aweber will do that. But you will want to actually grab their email to input it yourself if you do not have a link, which adds, so they'll click a link like you guys did, you clicked a link, it goes into Aweber, and then Aweber automatically puts out the emails.
So it creates an email list, basically.
Exactly.
It's an email list.
Exactly. So you just have to do the extra legwork of being like, hey, can I get your email? And then you input it versus them inputting it into your landing page.
Got it.
Okay. And then these are also great. I get emails from people all the time, like, oh, I got your email, and they respond back to you and you guys email back and forth, right? And again, that's free organic marketing in that sense.
I like that.
Yeah. And then, so the biggest thing too, right, is understanding someone's pain and pleasure points, right? Their why. And if you guys go back to any of our messages, that's exactly what I really try to tackle, right? You need to understand where someone's coming from before you understand where they're going. And that is so incredibly important. And you need to relate to them, right? If it's health, right? Money, freedom, family, I'm sure we've all thought about those things. You need to relate to them. And then it becomes way easier to actually understand their pain points, because you don't want to write people off. You don't want them to be like, oh, right into business, right? Because people are going to be shut down and be like, been there, done that. You're not going to help me. You just want to sell me something, right? You want to come from a place of being helpful. You want to help somebody versus trying to sell them something. And you'll go into more of that stuff too in organic marketing. You'll learn more about how to do all of that. And then mirror them. Like this is really important too, is mirroring them. If you're in person, right? How they're sitting or how their attitude is, right? If you're talking to somebody and they're, really quiet and serious, you're not gonna be like, like,
right.
Like, okay.
You'll scare them. You'll be like,
exactly. I mean, you want to be friendly, but don't be like crazy, and sometimes I have to like tone myself down too, because I can be pretty bubbly and I'm like, oh yeah, okay, have to be a little more serious.
boring and quiet.
Right. And so you want to be able to mirror them. And that also comes with text messages. When you're talking to somebody in conversation, mirror them, mirror them, mirror them. If someone is literally pouring out their whole heart and soul to you, give them that long same message back, right? If they're like 2 sentences, give them 2 sentences back. And I know it feels weird sometimes, especially me. I like to talk. I like to text message. I'm like,
my text messages are insane. My son says that I text the way I talk, which is ridiculous. So I would have to measure myself on text messages.
Yeah, and that's true. You just look at that, you're like, oh, okay, they wrote me 3 lines. They seem kind of interested. Crazy. Then you write a couple lines back and you kind of give them that same kind of feeling. You don't want to be over top even your messages like, oh, I got this is amazing, it changed my life, blah, 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 blah. And they're like, okay, next, moving on, so mirroring them is really important.
Like for every 2 lines you write a paragraph. Yeah.
I know. Right. So exactly, you want to make sure if they write a little bit, you write a little bit. They write a big paragraph, you write a big paragraph back, right? You kind of want to give them that same respect. I always make sure text message, email, electronic, if it's a person, it's different. But you always want to end with a question. These are always really important. Here's are some that are in here as well. So like, have they worked online or looked into it, right? I'm sure you guys remember these questions I've given you guys, right? Your monthly income goal, on a scale of 1 to 10, how committed are you to making a change, right? And how quickly are you looking to get started? These are all really good questions to ask them throughout the conversation. And of course, there's more you can always go into, but these are kind of my main ones I go into. Of course, depending on the conversation, I might add more, but these are usually my go-tos. And then eventually too, like get an idea of how you're talking to people and create a script. So the script, of course, just like your business page, just like everything, is not concrete. It will change over time. But just kind of get an idea of like how you want to say things to somebody. It's very important because that's the way you can keep control of the conversation. Your script and then answer or asking questions. If you let them take over the conversation, they will just sit there and I ask all these million questions for you, and then you get overwhelmed. You're like, I don't know how to answer.
And then you sound like you don't know what you're talking about, and then they walk away.
Exactly. So keep the conversation to where you're always asking questions. So you're kind of putting the ball in their court in that sense, but you're having them answer what you want them to answer, right? And the same thing too, keep a script. And eventually you'll start having in your messenger ads, in your messenger, you start talking to people, you can save replies. So it comes way easier. So the things that these questions or how you say certain things, you can easily just go to click reply and it goes right to it and it's saved already. So you have to keep typing over and over the same things again. And then it's kind of nice again to have a script, because then you can split test your script. Say, okay, I'm not getting really good feedback on this question or how I answered this question or how I said this. Okay, well, let me change it and try it next, right? But you want to, again, try it on at least, I would say at least 10 people. See how it goes, see how that script goes. And if you're feeling you're getting crickets, you're not getting what you're wanting out of it, then change it up. Exactly. Find where it's kind of falling out. Like you're getting a good conversation and all of a sudden you say this and they're not about it, or they're just, you hear crickets and it's like, what do I need to do different? And if you keep a script and keep it the same, then you know what you're doing wrong. Versus when I first started, I was doing so many different kind of conversations. I didn't know what was working because it was all different. It was all over the place. So it really helps, like, okay, this is my script, bum, 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 watch a video, a health group, whatever it is, right? And then I can kind of figure out where things are falling off. And then, right, if they're interested, right? These are really good things to do. Have someone come over and check out your machine, right? Like, hey, this is really cool. Or it's also even just a really good talking point. Someone comes over and they're like, what is that? Like, how does family come over from Florida? They're like, what is that? So it's a really good talking point, right? Give them water. Like, hey, man, like, here's some freaking good water. Take it, whatever it is. And that's a good way to share it with them, right? If you have the Yukon, you have a good year supply. You can give them soap, you can give them capsules, you can give them tea or whatever you have. And that is giving them samples to try out. Here, have this, go ahead and try it. Let me know what you think, right? And then, so add them to the health and wealth group, right? So this is really good. So once you get them all interested, you're like, well, where do I go next? So the health and wealth group is such a great, amazing source. You have, as you guys see, there's way videos, so many videos on there, different guide sections. And if it's like, say it's like a health thing, you can tag them in the testimonials. You can look through those and say, oh, this person had the same problem. Let me tag you on this one. They're interested about the science, tag you on the science video. interested about making money, tag them on the money video, right? I kind of do a little bit of everything personally, depending on, I guess, what you guys are interested in. But I usually like to do the compensation plan. I like to do the science behind it. If they're interested in the Kangen, the 70 uses for the Kangen. And I
like the test strips and everything. They have that on the Health and Wealth, and I think in BYU they have that same video.
Exactly. And that's all really good information. And then you can go into testimonials, right? And then like what to expect after getting started. I think that's a really good one. Kristen did really good on that one. Because people are interested, you know, how this is all going to transcend and how once they get started, like what actually happens. So the Health and Wealth group, definitely don't overlook that. Use that. I even use that, as you guys see with my ads. Once people are interested in it, I will add them into the Health Wealth group so they can understand, learn more, and then they're ready for the coaching call, pretty much. So yeah. And then of course, follow up. I can't say it all. Follow up. It is super important. I was just saying to, again, the weekly Zoom, one of the girls said, well, I had a messenger ad. I gave her the video and I never heard back from her. I'm like, okay, did you follow up? She's like, yes. I'm like, okay, how many times? Only one time. Okay, we got to follow up again. You know, give it a few days. And then if they don't say anything to you, like, okay, if it's, you've been asking about watching the video, right? Or if they or in the Health Wealth group, whatever it is. So if you're not getting anything back from them, either they're busy and life happens. I mean, that happens, right? We mean to do something and then we get distracted and then like, oh, I'll come back to this and we forget, right? But the thing I like to do too is if someone doesn't respond to me on watching the video, I will be like, oh, a couple days later, how was your weekend? You know, how was Mother's Day? You know, happy Friday or anything like that. And also kind of throw in a question with that. So they pretty much, it's kind of a personal level again, right? You're kind of bringing it from away from the business back to personal. And then usually when people respond when they're like, how was your weekend? Oh, it was great, blah, blah. And you're like, oh, mine was great too. And you kind of have that rapport in that conversation. And then you're like, so did you watch the video? You know, so there's good ways to kind of sneak that in there to where it's not just business hounding them about watching a video. Anybody would probably block you and delete you and not respond to you if they kept getting, you watch my video? Do you watch my video yet? What about now? What about now?
Like you said, building rapport and not stalking them, right?
Exactly. And I've learned that too. Like I had people block me in the beginning, so I was like, oh, okay,
Really?
I was a little much there.
I can't imagine anyone blocking you. Oh my.
Well, in the beginning, you know, I was just like, you know, you think one thing about I gotta sell, right?
Or overzealous. Yeah. You're
yeah. And then you realize, okay, that's not a place where anybody wants to even work with me. I need to come from a place of giving and being that personal level with somebody and understanding them and them understanding me. Otherwise, you know, honestly, there's so many different gigs out there. There's so many different online things out there that really they can't tell you from Adam or Eve from what is what, right? To them, it's just kind of the same thing. They have no idea how we're so different than everybody else. So it's really good to kind of build that rapport with them. And then they're like, oh, okay. You know, and then you talk about maybe throw in a couple things about your life, like, oh, yeah, this business has been great, blah, blah, blah. And then it gets them intrigued, right? There's so many different ways to create that personal bonding with somebody. And then you become great friends in that sense too. It's like, oh yeah, hey, how was your weekend again? Or how was your, you know, Mother's Day, happy birthday, or whatever it is, right? Also, friend them, right? Follow them, comment on their stories, whatever it is. And then again, you guys are kind of, you know, they know each other, you're actual real people. I usually like to friend them on my personal page as well, because they can see
they can relate to you.
Exactly.
They can relate to your life, to your day-to-day. And
exactly. And it's not just strictly business. So that's just kind of what I do pretty much. It's like your resources, right? You have your Health and Wealth group, right? Add perspectives, tag them in videos. The Enagic Backoffice, right? The School of Champions, definitely check into that. BYU has its own organic marketing section. Once you guys actually graduate from Kickstart, you'll get into Life Flippers, and that's a whole nother like section of more advanced training. And we have a lot of stuff in there about organic marketing, right? And then follow other people in the community. Definitely make friends. Go to my page. You can see all like mutual friends of people in the Kickstart culture group, right? Start friending people, and then you see mutual friends of theirs, and then you start friending more people, and you get to see how people do it, especially the leaders, right? Alex Ryder is really good on Instagram on doing all the products. She's really, really great. Kristen Braun is really good at organic marketing. She's like on a freaking story on posts every, like almost every day, pretty much. And she's traveling, you know, she's been in this for a couple years. I think she's a little bit over like my 2 years, I think. And they're just traveling. They sold their house and they're traveling in their motorhome. And so there are different ways to definitely do organic marketing. And it's definitely, you can make a lot of sales doing organic marketing. But yeah, pretty much a summary of that is organic marketing is super powerful. Don't think, I mean, of course, ads are great too, right? But there's a lot can be said about organic marketing. It can be done, you know, with or without ads. Right now, my life has been a little crazy, so I'm not too much organic marketing. But I swear, once next week happens and we're traveling, I'll be doing a lot of organic marketing. I'm finally trying to get everything, you know, situated with the honeymoon, making sure all of our hotels, rental cars, activities, everything is booked, and there's just so much going on. Trying to make sure I'm packing, make sure I have everything just taken care of. So you'll definitely be seeing more of me here soon with that. Create lists of potential clients. This is really cool. I did it in the beginning, but I really liked Christy. Can't think of her last name at the moment. Vaughn?
Is it Vomund? Vomund?
Yeah. So she took a step further, right? I did lists, but she did like ABC lists. So she had like client A list or people that she knew was going to buy. B, interested. C, you know, and she actually did really great in organic marketing. She still does her full-time job, and because she loves it, right? And she was going to people that she knew from her job, people all over. Like she did a lot of organic marketing in the beginning, and she did a lot with different lists. And because you can tackle all your A list and then work on your B, you know, work on your C, and then kind of go back and circle, right? And catch people that didn't, you know, go the first time. So lists are really great. Being organized is really important in business, especially as you start having more people you talk to and all of that. Being omnipresent. So another thing about organic marketing, right, is ads, it does it for you, but organic marketing, you need to make sure you're on stories, make sure you're posting, make sure you're liking people's stuff, you're commenting, so you're always on top of mind. And that's really important too, because if people see you everywhere, they're gonna be like, oh, okay, what about this girl? Oh yeah, I need to watch her video, or I need to get back to her, or man, she's liking all my stuff, she's nice, you know, whatever it is. It's good to be omnipresent for people. And like I said, follow up. And then don't give up, right? Give yourself grace. Give yourself just that time to, like, you know, in the beginning of everything, we all want to make lots and lots of money. That's, you know, I guess that's, you know, of course why we're here, but it's going to take time. It's a business, right? You're going to grow and it's going to grow. And it takes some time to really start creating that momentum. But once you create that momentum, it's gonna keep going like a snowball, and it gets really fun. And then you get to meet amazing people and create really amazing connections. Any questions on that?
No, Steph, I really appreciate you breaking it down and making it, I don't know, so much less daunting. Because yeah, that list. Yeah, no, I'm gonna split it up. I'm definitely gonna split it up. But I was gonna tell you, you should do more Airbnbs and less hotels for your trip.
Yeah, well, so we have a little bit of both, actually. I have definitely a little bit of both. I've sprinkled them throughout depending where we're staying. So I actually have, like in Scotland, I have a lot of Airbnbs.
Oh,
right on the lake.
Beautiful there, yeah.
So I'm really excited. And Glencoe is in the Glencoe Valley. We have like a mountain view over, like looking over Loch Lomond. And yeah, it's supposed to be really cute and pretty. And I'm like, because Cancun's gonna be crazy. And then Croatia's going to be in between. And then Scotland's going to be like our wind down, kind of relaxing kind of trip. So
how did you come up with the places to visit? Like which specific countries you wanted to go to?
Well, Cancun was a free trip.
Oh, cool.
So that was easy. And then also too, pretty much COVID, their quarantines, the vaccinations, all of that stuff.
Oh,
I wanted to
but
find,
depending on the restrictions and all of that, you don't want to end up quarantined 2 weeks in some random place.
exactly. And the UK is completely open. So I really like that. Croatia was one of the safest countries. And we wanted to go to Italy. We wanted to go to Greece, of course, but you had to get like your second booster and all of that. We're not about vaccinating. I'm about to hopefully have a child soon, and I don't want to mess up anything with that. I'm healthy as can be. And I talked to too many women that have lost their period and stuff like that. So I'm like, I'm good.
So, but you and Sam haven't gotten COVID at all.
So we did, but I didn't have any symptoms really. I didn't have anything. I think I lost my nose smell for like a day. And that was it. I was just cooped up in the motorhome because we actually were being evacuated at that time.
Oh God, on top of everything else.
On top of everything, got evacuated from a big fire here, and then like a weekend, he got it. And then he was a little worse than me. He was like, his symptoms lasted for like 5 days. Me, I was just bored in the trailer pretty much watching Netflix.
Oh man.
So I'm not too worried really. Our families have gotten it and I still haven't gotten it sent. So I'm not too worried about that.
No, that's good.
Yeah.
I agree with you that it's not, obviously I got vaccinated, but I got vaccinated way late and after I'd already gotten COVID. And I only did it because my mom was bullying me. Like she was pressuring me. She's like, at least get the Johnson & Johnson. I'm like, okay, fine.
Yeah. And everybody, to each their own. I, of course, am not going to say yay or nay, but of course, I was thinking about us and stuff like that. And I'm like, well, so far none of my family's had anything really bad. And my mom.
For sure it wouldn't kill you guys. Like, for sure, if the concern is, well, maybe I should get vaccinated so I don't die. Like, let's be honest. The likelihood that you or Sam at your age, in your health, would die from it or get hospitalized from it is very slim.
Exactly.
But the risk of getting the vaccine, not knowing what's in it and what the repercussions are further on down the line. I'm with you, especially if like you're trying to have children, you're trying to stay healthy. You don't know. You don't know. So.
Exactly.
I agree.
And then I'm going to go my last thing, guys.
Oh, yes, sorry.
And then I know Angela's been waiting for this on how to do ads. So pretty much, Angela, I think where somehow it got, I'm not sure exactly how you got into the ad section, but are you there? Or are you frozen?
Hey.
Okay. I wasn't sure if I saw anything. So pretty much with here, right? I usually go is in through business.facebook.com. Okay. So there is a way to go in, I think, through your business page itself and then go that way. Personally, I just go business.facebook.com. And then it brings me to my ads manager and I usually just save it. So if you guys can see, I don't know if you guys can see this tab here, it says ads manager. So I can always just go to here and it always brings up my ads manager.
Okay. Yeah, no, I see that.
Okay. So it should bring you to something looking like this. If it does not look like this, then you went in a different way, in a different back-end entrance, and it might be very confusing on how you got there. So I usually just go log into my personal page and then open up another tab and I put business.facebook.com. Okay. And then it'll have you, if you've already created an account, it'll go right to it. If you've never done it, it'll have you log in and you're really just logging into your personal page so it can connect. And that's how you create your business pages, through the same area.
Okay.
So
that may be that.
Yeah, because when you showed me that picture, I was like, I don't see what she's seeing. So you must have went in a different way. So I just make it simple and easy and then tab it or favorite it So it always goes the same place and you don't have to worry about clicking all these different buttons to get to there. Because Facebook is going to change its stuff, but it will not change how this is. They might take away some different demographics or whatnot, but this is always going to be the same. So you want to go to create. Super simple, right? So here is going to be the different kinds of ads you're going to do. You're going to, you'll have an engagement, right? You'll have messages and you'll have conversions. Those are the three you're really going to be playing with. Oh, and video views, of course. But otherwise, I don't really touch anything else in here because it hasn't really worked for me. You can do some of these, but again, the whole point, right, is to have people know you, follow you, and then eventually create a sale, right? So that's kind of our end game.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so these are what you want to do. So for a likes campaign, you want to go to engagement. And there's two types of engagement. There's post engagement and then there's page likes. So that's when you want to go to page likes. This is going to be your first. So Pilar, when you ever get into ads here, if you decide to get into ads, likes campaign is the first thing, right? It is pretty much showcasing your business page to your demographics. You're kind of saying like Angela had a nice cute post. She introduced herself and gave a couple of reasons why she wants to pursue a business and tell her followers to follow her for her journey, right? Super simple. And again, don't overthink the page likes campaign. Just get it out there. Just make sure to follow your no words, and otherwise you do not want to get banned from Facebook. Been there, done it. I feel like I've done everything wrong. So take it from me. But there's ways to get back, of course, but you just don't want to go that way. And that's why when I said, if you got rejected that one time, don't keep trying. Let's figure it out.
I just deleted it and everything.
Perfect. So you want to go to engagement, page likes, right? Continue. And this is all going to look the same way, depending if you choose messages or if you choose conversions. It's going to look the same way. It just, the campaign is going to be a little bit different how they name it. And a little couple things might be different. Otherwise, it's going to be all looking kind of the same. So, you want to be, one thing too, for your campaigns, you want to name them, you want to be organized. As you probably saw on my last screen, I have a bunch of ads. So it can get a little confusing and you really want to be explicit on your titles.
Especially know which one it's for.
Exactly. And you can always change the names whenever you want. So don't like, oh shoot, that was the one time I did it. No, you can go back and change it 5 million times if you want. So don't worry about that. You want to do, sorry. Nope. There we go. Page likes, sorry. Okay, so you would just go click edit. This. So there's going to be three parts to a campaign. You have the first part, which is your campaign part, what kind of ad you're doing. The second part is going to be your demographics. And the third is going to be actually your ad itself. Either your swipe up ad, your messenger ad, conversion ad, whatever ad it is. That's the 3 different categories to an ad. All the time, never changes. So, edit campaign. Thank you. So, so it tells you again, where you're at, your engagement, your page likes, blah, blah. CBO, we'll get into that in the future. I love CBO. That just pretty much means you can have multiple demographics, multiple ad sets, multiple ads under one campaign. I don't want to confuse you guys on that yet, but that's really fun in the future. So, and then let me make sure I'm not missing anything. Perfect. And then it's simple, easy, right? You click next.
Oh, what did my phone just do?
Can you still see us?
Yes.
Perfect. So the second part, ad set name, right? So again, this is going to be about your demographics now and about
Yeah, this looks like what I was seeing.
Perfect. So this is going to be pretty much where your demographics are and your how much you choose to pay for your ad. So when you first start for your likes campaign, you need to actually have it go long enough to do $35. Usually you can do $5 a day for 7 days, or if you want to have your budget lower, that's fine. You can do $3 a day, whatever you want. Just make sure it's up to $35. That kind of builds rapport with Facebook that you're good, that you are not just some scam person trying to come in here and just start creating ads. So it's kind of like, hey, I'm really an entrepreneur. I'm doing a likes campaign. And then once you do that, then you can really do your full blown messenger ad, conversion ads, and swipe up story ads.
Yes, one ad at a time.
So start with the first campaign ad, likes campaign ad, get that done. We'll look at your demographics. We'll look at your people that reach out to you. We'll look at people that are following you, and then we change it from there, right?
Okay.
Here's where your daily budget goes. You can change it. It always gives 25, so don't ignore that unless you can spend $25. Definitely change that. It always goes to $25. I don't know why. You can do, so here's where your audience goes, right? Once you get to know your audience and how you like them, you can actually save your audiences. So as you see, I have different audiences that I've played with, and some that I have stars next to that I like. That are doing really well. So there's just different types of audiences you can do. So like I was saying too, you guys will get into your ideal client worksheet, right? And BYAU. This is where you want to start playing with like your demographics, right? You want to like look into who you're actually wanting to target, United States, different countries. I say for the very beginning of doing this, start with the United States, see what works here, and then take it other places. That's just my thoughts. Your ages, right? If you want male and female or just female, and then your different detailed targeting audiences, your demographics. Like I was telling Angela, I usually do between 4 and 5 boxes. First box is financial. Second box is business related, entrepreneur related. Third box is going to be an activity. And then the, let's see, wait, I see, yeah. Finance, business, activity, and then sometimes it's another activity, or I can do, I'm having a blank right now.
Shoppers, right?
Yes, thank you. Engaged shoppers. Thank you. So that is really good for people that are not click happy, but Facebook knows that they like to buy stuff online. So that will actually show them your ad. And what helped me understand this, the demographics part, is understanding it's a filter, right? So it's a filter as like United States, okay. Age, okay. Male or female, okay. And then down the line, they want to like this, they like this, they like this. And then it'll give you this nice amount of people, right, that will actually like your ad, not like your ad, right? So let me find one. I'll find my saved audience that I like. You can kind of get.
I only have a couple more minutes that I can stay on.
No worries, we're almost done, I promise. If I can find it. There it is. I just saw star. Okay.
This list.
So don't worry about the 3%. You'll get that in the future. That's just, don't worry about that. So pretty much, and don't worry about custom lead either. These are all things a little more advanced, but just look at United States, age, female, right? I excluded people that are already in the Kangen business, interest, credit cards, online banking, Apple Pay, interest, business, travel, nature, engaged shoppers, right? Look over to the side and it tells you what your audience size is. You want any between 2 to 10 mil. Anything more than that, it's too much, and anything lower than that is too little. So 2 to 10 mil. And then, pretty much you do next, right? And then this is where your likes campaign goes or your ad goes. And in here, so if you whenever you get your Instagram up, you can actually attach your Instagram into here as well, which is really cool.
Now, do you have a different Instagram account than, do you have a personal and a business for Instagram as well?
I do.
Okay.
I actually barely post on my personal. I do more on my business, but again, I haven't really done too much organic marketing. I just do a lot of ads right now, just because my life is busy and it does a lot of it for me. That's why
Okay.
I
That's
do
good to know
kind of.
too.
That's why, I mean, like, honestly, if you can at least get an ad out there, it helps your life out a little bit. And organic marketing is just a plus on top of it all, right? So you want to pretty much put your likes campaign in here, right?
Right.
And then you add it in here, right? You add your media. Either you can do an image or a video. If you want to do a video, more power to you, talking about you and also adding in the text as well. You can do both. And then hopefully you've gotten to the point too where you set your pixel up. There should be a green and you should have a pixel ID. So you cannot run anything. And if you do run something, you can run it. But the only problem is that Facebook is not capturing that information and they're not gathering the data for your ad. So if you need help with that, let me know. I'm going to be around all day tomorrow if you need help with the pixel.
Yeah, I'll probably be working on it in the morning because I'm early shift.
Perfect. And then really that simply is that, right? Once you make sure you add your picture, your words, your demographics, make sure you are good on the no words, and then you publish it. Wham, bam, got a likes campaign.
After they accept it, right?
After
It
they
still
accept
goes through review.
And
Okay.
then usually the first one takes a little longer. I think I noticed mine a little over a day, my first one. It took them to approve it. But then after that, it gets approved in like a couple hours.
They were pretty quick to deny it.
Well, denying is one thing. They'll deny it like that. If it's however you did it, I'm not sure. I'd have to actually look at your screen and how you did it. But if it's already asking you for a link,
I think I just tried to go in through my page and I didn't actually go to the business page first. So it didn't go right into the Meta Business Suite.
Yeah. So I think that's
what the problem was.
Yeah, because that's why they're probably like, nope, you're trying to create a normal ad and you haven't even done the beginning. So that's why they denied you. That's why I wanted you to kind of hold on for you could kind of watch this and kind of get an idea. And then that's pretty much it, guys. I don't want to take up too much. It's already 6:30.
Sounds good.
Any questions?
No, thank you so much. I really appreciate it, Steph. Thanks for taking the time.
Of course. And then I'm gonna once this is downloaded, I'll throw it into the group so you guys can rewatch it. And for the ones that couldn't make it, and then I'll probably throw out if you guys are available next Thursday, that'd be great. And then we'll do that. And then I'm just available when y'all need me throughout the few weeks after.
All right, sounds
awesome.
good.
Awesome.
Thanks so much, Steph.
Yes, have a good day.
Good night, Angela.
Bye.
Good night.